बोली माँ क्या हुआ सकीना को खशिए क्यों आ गया सकीना खशिए क्यों आ गया सकीना को क्यों ये खामोश हो गई आंखें किसने क्या कह दिया सकीना किसने क्या कह दिया सकीना को क्या खबर इसको क्या हुआ बेटा देखो हमें जरा सकीना देखो हमें जरा सकीना को ना शिकायत है अब तमाचों की ना तसल्ला सकीना को ना तसल्ला सकीना को हाय गुर्बत में छीन कर मुझसे ले गई क्यों ले गई क्यों सकीना को जिस्म है साथ नफ्स साकित है क्या हुआ है खुदा सकीना क्या हुआ है खुदा सकीना को बोली माँ क्या हुआ सकीना
सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि मोहम्मद जब दागे बेकसी न सकीना उठा सकी और दर्द दिल न खौफ के मारे सुना सकी खाए तमाचे शिवर के जब तक के खा सकी सितम था तो बहुत न बर्दाश्त सितम था तो बहुत न बर्दाश्त सके रोई तो जालिमों ने जफा बेशुमार की आखिर जबर देख के मौत इख्तियार आखिर जबर देख के मौत इख्तियार गैरा की तो शिमर पुकारा खामोश हो और चुप हुई तो बेफिदरी ने कहा कि रो गए शिद्दते तशे पुकारी के पानी दो गया कर गए बाबा के प्यार गया कर गए बाबा के प्यार सोई जो आंसू पोंछ के चश्मे पुराब से है हुसैन के फिर उठ बैठे है हुसैन के शुमरे लई कड़ा सोनिए में काम काम की कहती थी रात भर फरियाद छीनता है गोहर शुमरे पर गोहर
आता है अपने साथ छुपा के मैं,
आता है
अपने साथ छुपो जाके मैं,
आता है अपने साथ छुपो जाके मैं ज़ैनब फूफी संभालो कलेजा धड़कता है सज्जाद भाई देखो ये बोली गुला सज्जाद भाई देखो ये बोली गुला जब प्यास लगती होगे चचा को पुकारती दुखते जो कान शाह खुदा को पुकारती आता न जब कोई तो खुदा को पुकारती जीने से तंग हो के खजा को पुकार जीने से तंग हो के खजा को पुकारती कहती थी ने चचाना इमामे उमम रहे रुलवाने को अधूरे रोने को रुलवाने को अधूरे रोने को अब क्या लूटूंगी माल नहीं से नहीं रहा अकबर नहीं रहा लिया नहीं रहा रहने को कैद खाना मिला घर नहीं रहा हाथों मेरी इस्मामली जेवर नहीं हाथों मेरी इस्मामली जेवर हाथों मेरी इस्मामली जेवर नहीं दौलत है कौन सी जिसे जिंदा में खोऊंगी रोना था जिसको रो चुकी अब किसको रोना था जिसको रो चुकी अब किसको रो कुबरा से छुके छुके कभी करती थी बयान कल एक जगह में जाऊंगी इस घर से मैं रो कर वो पूछती थी कहो तो कहाँ कहाँ दरवाजे में तो खूब रहेगा घर मेरे दरवाजे में तो खूब रहेगा घर मेरे ये कहती थी कि खुफल लगा है तो क्या हुआ जिंदा है बंद रोज़ा रिज़वा खुला जिंदा है बंद रोज़ा रिज़वा खुला कुबरा है और तुम हो ये सजा देना तवा अगर ये बचे तो नाम है वरना हुए निशान वो बोली सब रहेंगे सलामत पहम कहा माने कहा खुदा न करे माने खुदा न माने कहा खुदा न करे रह सके अर्ज देख लूंगी जो पिछली को होएगा बाबा की रोने वाली को सबको मारो बाबा की रोने वाली को सबको मारो अब मौत मेरी सबको मुबारक करे खुदा मरते ही मेरे फैज से सब कुनबा हो रहा
राह सलामती इमाम ज़माना बाबा दे बुलंद सलवात।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। फातिहा। ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाहिल अलिय्यिल अज़ीम। अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि खालिक़िल खल्क़ बासितिर रिज़्क़ फ़ालिक़िल इसबाह ज़िल जलालि वल इकराम वल फ़ज़्ल वल इनआम सुम्मा अस्सलातु वस्सलाम व तहिय्यतु वल इकराम अला सुल्तानिल खलाइक़ अजमईन व सय्यिदिल अव्वलीन वल आखिरीन व ख़ातिमिन नबिय्यीन व शफ़ीइल मुज़नबीन व रहमतुल लिल आलमीन व रसूलिल मुसद्दद वल मुस्तफ़ा अहमद अबिल क़ासिम मुहम्मद। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। आलिहि तय्यबीन अत्ताहिरीन अल-मअसूमीन अल-मज़लूमीन अल-मुंतजबीन अल-मुंतखबीन अल-मयामीन अल-हादीन अल-महदीन الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا। سيما بقية الله في الأرضين وحجته على العالمين عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف ولعنة الله على أعدائهم وباطل حقوقهم ومنكر فضائلهم ومناقبهم وولايتهم ومصائبهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. القول مني في جميع الأشياء من قول آل محمد عليهم الصلاة والسلام فيما سروا وما أعلموا وفيما بلغني عنهم وما لم يبلغني. أما بعد فقد قال الله عز وجل أصحاب اليمين ما أصحاب اليمين. الصلوات على محمد آل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. For the acceptance of this majlis and for the increment in spirituality, another salawat with the loudest voices on Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ashab al-Yamin. We discussed Hazrat Iqambar and then Hazrat Nisamat Ammar, and last night we discussed Hazrat al-Hujr ibn Adi. We discussed that these are the companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen about whom the glorious Quran says Ashab al-Yamin. Ma Ashab al-Yamin, the people of the right. And what are the people of the right? Ashab al-Yamin. Ma Ashab al-Yamin. Similar to when the Quran says, the glorious Quran says, Al-Qari'atu mal-Qari'ah, the striking calamity. And what is the striking calamity? Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr wa ma adraka ma laylatul qadr. What do you know about Laylatul Qadr? Similarly, what do you know about the striking calamity? And what do you know about the companions of Ali ibn Abi Talib? Salawat to the Prophet. We were discussing the merits, the virtues, the traits of the companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen, one by one. Today, I wish to discuss one of the most trustworthy companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen, because today is Shab-e Jummah, or the Thursday night. We generally have the gatherings of Hadith-e-Kisa and the gatherings of Dua-e-Kumail in this night. We generally recite Hadith-e-Kisa, Ziyarat-e-Warisa, Dua-e-Kumail. We associate this very important night, a night of utmost importance in the entire week, with the supplication of Kumail. Hence, I want to discuss the life, the virtues and the merits of one of the most trustworthy companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and that was Kumail ibn Ziyad al-Nakhai. When we recite Dua Kumail, we remember this great companion of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He was from the tribe of Bani Nakhai. Malik Ashtar was also from this very same tribe. Some people say that Kumail was initially from Yemen, while most of the historians are of the view that Kumail was born and brought up in Kufa. Some say that Kumail was amongst the companions of the Holy Prophet. Kumail saw the Holy Prophet. He was benefited from the companionship of the Holy Prophet, while some others differ from this statement. But what we surely know is that Kumail may or may not be from the companions of Rasulullah, but yes, he was definitely from one of the greatest companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Once Amir al-Mu'mineen asked one of his servants and said, "Call 10 of my most trustworthy companions." Call 10 of my most trustworthy companions. Now when Ali says trustworthy, then imagine the kind of iman and faith of these 10 companions. And then when he was asked, who are those 10 companions? Ali replied by saying, he named all those 10 companions and one of them was Kumail. This was the kind of love between Ali and Kumail. Traditions tell us that not only this, but like Misam Ammar and like Amr ibn Hamab al-Khuzai and like Uwais Farani and Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, Kumail was one of the companions of the secrets of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Kumail was one of the companions of the secrets of Amir al-Mu'mineen. What would happen? Ali would move out from the mosque of Kufa. Kumail would slowly follow him. When Ali would see Kumail, he would hold the hand of Kumail and inform him about the secrets of the creation. Once Ali said, "O Kumail, people are divided into 3 categories." He held the hand of Kumail and said, "O Kumail, people are divided into 3 categories. The first of them is ulama-e-rabbaniyin and urafa-e-salihin. The first of them are those ulama who are not only ulama, but they are ulama-e-rabbaniyin, Gnostics and Arif regarding Allah, regarding Rasulullah, and regarding the Ahlul-Bayt of Rasulullah. They are ulama-e-rabbaniyin. The second group is of ulama, not ulama-e-rabbaniyin, but yes, ulama. And the third group is of worthless masses, general public. For Ali, this third group was as worthless as it could be. For Ali, the importance was of those who have knowledge without irfan. But ulama-e-rabbaniyin have knowledge along with irfan. They have knowledge along with Gnosticism, along with Ma'rifat, along with Irfan. And we find similar statement in Nahjul Balagha. Sermon number, as far as I could remember, sermon number either sermon 5, 6 or 7. Wherein Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Sa'in Sari'un Naja wa Talibun Tabiyun Raja wa Muqassiru fin Nari Haba. The first group, again he mentions 3 different groups, and this is present in Nahjul Balagha, either sermon number 5, 6 or 7. When Amir al-Mu'mineen says, the first group is Sa'in Sari'un Naja. The first group is of the people who run. Allahu Akbar. Who run, and salvation is for these people. Najat is reserved for them. They run towards what? Run towards Deen, run towards Quran, or should I say they run towards Ali. They come running towards Ali, Allahu Akbar, and for them is salvation. Imagine the words used by Amir al-Mu'mineen. The kalam of Imam is an Imam of kalam. When Amir al-Mu'mineen says anything, this means that word is perfectly fit for that particular position. Amir al-Mu'mineen said that first group is of the people who come running towards who? Running towards Amir al-Mu'mineen. Salvation is for them. Sa'in sari'un naja wa talibun tabiyun raja. And the second group is of the people who do not come running, but yes, they want to come. And hope is for them. Allahu Akbar. For the first group, they come running towards Ali, and salvation is for them. For the second group, they are talib. They want to come, but they do not come running hastily. So there is hope for them. For the first group, there is salvation. For the second group, there is raja, there is hope. And the third group is وَمُقَصِّرُ فِي النَّارِ. Taqseer. What does taqseer mean? I've already mentioned the definition of muqassir according to the saying of Imam al-Baqir in the previous majlis. But what does this word taqseer means? Taqseer means to reduce. So anyone who reduces anything from the religion is a muqassir. If he reduces something from the Quran, from the deen, from the ibadah, from the acts of worship, or from the virtues of the Ahlul-Bayt, from the fadail of Ahlul-Bayt. The third group is of these people. Amir al-Mu'mineen said, O Kumail, the people are divided into three groups. And then Amir al-Mu'mineen said something very interesting. He said, he pointed towards his heart and said, there is an ocean of knowledge in my heart. There is an ocean of knowledge in my heart, but I do not find anyone capable of getting the entire knowledge which I have. What you have is only a little from the knowledge of Amir al-Mu'mineen. What Misam gets is only a little from the knowledge of Amir al-Mu'mineen. What Wes gets is only a little. Imagine Misam is getting only a little from the knowledge of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and then he's reaching at a position where he's telling everyone, okay, you will die like this, you will die like this, you will die like this. Kumail has received only something from the knowledge of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Imagine the amount of knowledge which is in the heart of Ali ibn Abi Talib. When the Quran says, وَيَقُولُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَسْتَ مُرْسَلًا قُلْ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ فَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ. The disbelievers say that thou art not a prophet. Say unto them that for me is Allah. Allah is sufficient for me and the one who has the knowledge of the entire book. وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ. Amir al-Mu'mineen was pointing towards that sentence of the Quran when he said, I have the knowledge. I have an ocean of knowledge in my heart, but I cannot find anyone in the entire creation capable of getting the entire knowledge, taking away the entire knowledge. There are people, when Ali comes to the pulpit and says, Saluni, Saluni, qabla an tafqiduni. There's a man who stands up and says, Oh Ali, how many hair do I have on my head? Ali points towards him and says, I have an ocean of knowledge in my heart, and what you ask me is this. I was ready to reveal the secrets of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what you ask is this. I am the one for whom the glorious Quran says, أَفَتَتَّخَذُوهُ وَذُرِّيَّتِهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِن دُونِي إِنَّهُ لَهُمْ عَدُوٌّ بِئْسَ لِلظَّالِمِينَ بَدَلًا مَا أَشَدَّهُمْ خَلْقَ السَّمَوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَا خَلْقَ أَنفُسِهِمْ. That do you take Iblis and his progeny as your wali, as your mawla, as your hakim, as your guardian, however they are your enemies. And this business is of the unjust. This business is for the unjust. مَا أَشَدَّهُمْ خَلْقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَا خَلْقَ أَنفُسِهِمْ. he be your guardian, while Iblis has neither seen the skies being created, nor is he a witness over the creation of the earth. He has not even seen himself being created. This would simply mean that if I say that I cannot be a doctor because I do not have an MBBS degree, would it imply that no one on the surface of the earth can be a doctor? No, this wouldn't imply that. It would simply mean that a person who holds the degree of MBBS can only be entitled to be called as a doctor. When the Quran says that how can he be a Mawla, Iblis and his progeny be a Mawla, they haven't seen the skies being created, nor they are a witness over the creation of the earth. What does the Quran mean? That no one can be a Mawla, no one can be a Wali. The Quran tries to imply that only and only he deserves the right to be called a Mawla, to be called a Wali, who has seen the skies being created, who has seen the earth being created. Leave aside the skies and the earth. He and alone him is a witness over his own creation. Salawat Muhammad ala Muhammad. He is a witness. Amir al-Mu'mineen was pointing towards this verse when he said, I have an ocean of knowledge in my heart, but I find no one get to be capable of holding this knowledge. What I find are people like Misam and Kumail and Hujr ibn Adi, people like Ambar, get something out of this. Some knowledge. Like Asif ibn Barakhiya had some knowledge of the book. Similarly, Misam has some knowledge of the book. Allahu Akbar. Like Asif ibn Barakhiya had some knowledge of the book. Similarly, Kumail has some knowledge which is stored in the heart of Ali ibn Abi Talib. But what is stored in the heart of Ali ibn Abi Talib, only God knows. What is stored in the heart of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And then we find a narration wherein it is mentioned that knowledge is the most easiest of our fazail. Knowledge is the most easy. When the Imam said, Inna hadithuna sa'abun mustas'abun, our tradition is difficult out of the most difficult ones. La tahammaluhu, none can bear it except illa malakun muqarrab, only approximate angel, aw nabiy mursal, or a prophet, or a rasul from the messengers, a prophet from the messengers, a messenger from the prophets, aw mu'min, or a mu'min whose heart has been tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with faith. In the hadithuna sa'abun mustas'ab. Now try imagining the status of Hazrat Kumail with a narration. Allama Majlisi Allah Maqama narrates that when Imam Hussain left Medina and came to Makkah, a person came to Abu Abdullah Hussain, a group of people came to Abu Abdullah Hussain and said, O our master and O our Mawla, reveal to us one of your secrets. Reveal to us one of your secrets. Imam Hussain looked at them and said, okay, I cannot reveal my secrets to all of you. Choose a person from you. Who's the most pious one, the most virtuous one, the most sincere one? Choose. They chose a person who, according to them, was the most pious amongst them, the most virtuous amongst them, the most sincere amongst them, the most truthful amongst them. They said, okay, you are our sheikh, you go. You are the most sincere, you are the most truthful. He comes near Abu Abdullah. Imam Hussain says, bring your ear close to my lips. He gets his ear close to Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain said something, and that healthy and that young man turned into a weak and an old person immediately. And immediately he forgot what Imam Hussain had told him. Now try imagining that this was when one of the secrets of Imam Hussain was revealed to that person. Whereas for Kumail, it is said that when Kumail asked, O Amir al-Mu'mineen, mal haqiqa, what is the ultimate reality? Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at him and said, what business do you have with the ultimate reality, with haqiqat and with the reality? Kumail looked at Amir al-Mu'mineen and said, oh my Mawla, oh my master, awalastu min ashab sirrik, am I not one of those companions with whom you share your secrets? Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at Kumail and said, yes, you are one of those companions with whom I share my secrets. Kumail was the person to whom were the secrets of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen shared his secrets with Kumail ibn Ziyad al-Nakhai, or should I put it forward like this, that Sirrullah al-Azam, the greatest secret and the greatest mystery of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shared his secrets and shared his mysteries with a person known as Kumail ibn Ziyad al-Nakhai. Salawat Muhammad ala Muhammad. This was Kumail, to whom Amir al-Mu'mineen once said, oh Kumail, knowledge is better than wealth, because you guard your wealth while the knowledge guards you. Oh Kumail, knowledge is better than wealth, because as much as you use your wealth decreases. But as much as you use your knowledge and your ilm increases. Oh Kumail, knowledge is better than wealth, because the ones who possess wealth eventually perish and eventually get forgotten away, but the person with the ilm remains alive as long as his ilm lives. Kumail lives through his knowledge. Kumail lives through his ilm, which he gained from Amir al-Mu'mineen. Now the famous tradition, or should I say the infamous tradition, which is not much discussed, and it is but obvious that why it is not much discussed, which I spoke about in the previous majlis, that is hadith haqiqat, or the tradition of reality, the ultimate reality. When Kumail asked Amir al-Mu'mineen, oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, what is the ultimate reality? What is haqiqat? Try imagining the level of question, the standard of that question. This was the standard of Hazrat Kumail. Who would ask Ali, what is the reality? What is reality? People are confused in their entire life. They don't get to know what reality actually is. And Ali spoke about reality and spoke in the best possible manner. And this is a narration which is hardly discussed. Why? Because of its complexity. The intellects of people are confused regarding this narration. People fail to understand even a statement of this narration. And I say it on the pulpit of Abdullah Hussain, that people shall not be able to encompass fully even one sentence of this narration until the day of judgment. Or should I say, until the Imam, the final Imam, the Imam of our age appears. It is impossible to decipher what Amir al-Mu'mineen said. And he was present with Kumail. Either Kumail could understand what Ali said. And even you will understand that even Kumail couldn't understood it initially when Ali started speaking about haqiqat. What is haqiqat? The narrations tell us that Amir al-Mu'mineen prayed his salat al-Maghribain. So what time would it be? Approximately, if we say Amir al-Mu'mineen prayed alone and then prayed his mustahabat and taqibat, let's say at max it was either 8 or 9 o'clock. When you start praying your salah, it is maximum take 10, for example. So keep this in mind. For example, the conversation between Ali and Kumail began, for example, let's say maximum the time was 10 p.m. maximum, because the narration says that the conversation began after Salatul Maghribain. The first miracle which happened during this is a miraculous tradition. This is the tradition which which is beyond the intellects of people, which is beyond the intellects of humanity. What happened within that conversation? Ali said only 5 lines. And what happened in those 5 lines? When Ali spoke about reality, when Ali spoke about haqiqat, try imagining that fact that this is not an ordinary person speaking. This is Ali ibn Abi Talib speaking about haqiqat, speaking about the ultimate reality. Kumail came near. Ali prayed his prayers. Maximum, it would be 10 p.m. Not more than that. Or it would be before 10 p.m. Not after 10 p.m. Maximum, let's say it was 10 p.m. Try imagining what would happen in this conversation. Be with me for this conversation. Kumail came near Amir al-Mu'mineen and said, Ma al-Haqiqa, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, ma al-Haqiqa. Oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, what is reality? What is the ultimate reality? What is haqiqat? Ali looked at Kumail and said, what business do you have with reality? Allahu Akbar. What business do you have with reality? Kumail looked at Ali and said, Oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, alastu min ashab sarrik? Am I not one of those companions with whom you share your secrets? Ali looked at Kumail and said, yes. He smiled and said, yes, you are one of those companions with whom I share my secrets. I believe this statement of Amir al-Mu'mineen is a shining jewel of the crown on the head of Kumail ibn Zad al-Nakhai. Because Ali is saying that you are one of those with whom I share my secrets and my mysteries. Kumail comes near Amir al-Mu'mineen. Haqiqat. Ali looks at Kumail. Yes, you are one of those with whom I share my secrets and I share my mysteries. And then Ali says something totally amazing. Only Ali would say this. Ali looked at Kumail. He looked at the curiosity of Kumail. That Kumail wants something from Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at him and said, what sprinkles in you overflows in me. Allahu Akbar. What sprinkles in you overflows. Kumail, you have these questions. Ali like these questions. What sprinkles in you? You are one of those people who are asking Ali the right question. You're not one of those who ask Ali, how many hair do I have in my beard or on my head? You are asking me what the ultimate reality is. What sprinkles in you overflows in me. Here Amir al-Mu'mineen is comparing Kumail with him. Only and only I could find 2 companions with whom Amir al-Mu'mineen compared himself. One was Kumail, other was Malik Ashtar. What sprinkles in you? It could also mean what Amir al-Mu'mineen tried to say is that there is a knowledge, what he initially said, there's an ocean of knowledge. It overflows in me. Oh Kumail, when this knowledge would overflow, on which person would I shower this knowledge on except for you? What sprinkles? This could also mean this. What sprinkles in you overflows in me. Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at him and said, Al-Haqiqatu kushfa sujjat al-jalal min ghayra ishabe. قال زدني يا أمير المؤمنين الحقيقة محو المهوم وصحو المعلوم. زدني يا أمير المؤمنين الحقيقة هتك الستر وغلبت السر. زدني يا أمير المؤمنين الحقيقة ما جذب الأحدية. زدني يا أمير المؤمنين الحقيقة نور يشرب من صبح الأزل على حياة التوحيد بآثاره. زدني يا أمير المؤمنين طف المصباح قد طلع الفجر. What is reality? Each and every letter and alphabet of this narration. Try to be with me. If you miss even a single alphabet, you would miss the entire sentence. And leave aside us. We are the lovers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Only the love of Amir al-Mu'mineen can help a person to understand this narration. There are n number of ulama and there are n number of the people of the knowledge, but none could understand this narration. None could understand what Ali meant when he spoke about haqiqat. First sentence, 5 lines, 5-line definition of haqiqat, the ultimate reality. What is haqiqat? Al-haqiqatu kushifa sujjat al-jalale min ghayri ishare. The reality is revelation of the splendors of the divine majesty without an indication. What is this? What did Ali mean when he said reality is the revelation of the splendors of the divine majesty without an indication? Who can understand this? You have to be Ali to understand this. None can understand this, and none can speak on this matter. Even Kumail had to ask, Zidni ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. So explain further, O Amir al-Mu'mineen. Then Ali said the second sentence. The first was revelation of the splendors of the divine majesty without an indication. The second sentence is Sa'abal mahum wa mahbal mahum wa sa'abal ma'lum. Reality is the annulment of speculation with ma'lum, with an indication of that thing which is established. What did Amir al-Mu'mineen mean by this? Annulment of speculation, mahbal mahum wa sa'abal ma'lum. Annulment of speculation with the establishment of the thing which is already established. Annulment of speculation with the establishment of the thing which is already established. So I looked at Ali, Zidni Amir al-Mu'mineen. Explain further through the second line. Third line, Hataka sidre wa ghalabta sir. Allahu Akbar. Reality is rending of the divine wheel with the mastery of the divine secret. Who could understand this? Who can understand? Who can even try to understand this? Kumail again said, Sidni Amir al-Mu'mineen. Explain further, O Amir al-Mu'mineen. Ali looked at him and said, Al-haqiqatu ma hiya jasbul ahdiyyati lisafat al-tawheed. Amir al-Mu'mineen said, haqiqat, reality, is the enticement in the divine unicity. Ahadiyyat, through the attribute of divine unity, Tawheed, Wahda. Enticement, just put Ahadiyyat, lisafat Tawheed. Enticement of the divine unicity, Ahadiyyat, through the attribute of divine unity, Tawheed. What would this mean? Zidni ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. Now the fifth, this was the fourth line. Now imagine this conversation started at around, let's say, 10 p.m. because the conversation began after Salat al-Maghribain. The fourth line definition was, the fifth line definition was when Amir al-Mu'mineen said, look at him, that what is reality? Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at him and said, Al-haqiqatu nurun yashraqu min subhil azal ila hayak fayaluhu hayakil tawheed bi-athare. Tawheed, haqiqat is, reality is the nur, the light which emanates from the morning of eternity upon the temples of unity. Conversation began, let's say, at 10 p.m. 5 lines, and now comes again Kumail says, Zidni Amir al-Mu'mineen, please explain further. Oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali looked at him and said, Tuffal misbah qad tuli al-fajr. Oh Kumail, quench your lamp as Fajr has arrived. Salawat Muhammad al-Muhammad. What happened in those 5 lines? What happened in those 5 lines? None can try even to understand what happened. Fajr has, the conversation began. How much time did it take? And I read the Arabic statements. along with translation, along with some pause, and how much time would have taken? Say at least maximum 10 minutes. Ali began his conversation after Salat al-Maghribain and said that it is a time of Fajr in 5 lines. In 5 lines. This is Ali speaking. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Josh Abidi, one of the greatest poets of our recent era. He said 4 lines of a Rawai, and those 4 lines are my favorite from Josh Abidi. He said, Asrar, Zaban, Khol, Rahe Hain, Khamosh. The mysteries and secrets are being revealed. So be silent. Asrar, Zaban, Khol, Rahe Hain, Khamosh. Anwar, मुझे तोल रहे हैं असरार ज़बान खोल रहे हैं खामोश अनवार मुझे तोल रहे हैं खामोश ऐ पे के महल शनास जिब्रील अमी ओ जिब्रील अमी who brings the message, seeing the time and space and seeing if whether this is relevant or not. He looks at the relevance of that particular message and then he delivers the message. And see, this was the misra, this was the line from Josh Abidi. He says, Asrar, Zaban, Khol rahe hain, Khamosh, Anwar, mujhe tol rahe hain, Khamosh, ae pe ke mahal shanas, Jibreel Ami, is waqt Ali bol rahe hain, Khamosh. This hadith means what is the meaning of these 5 lines, which I mean we need to comment, but what I could find in the narrations of the Ahlul Bayt, in the traditions of the Ahlul Bayt, because personal opinions do not matter. Yes. What matters is what the Hujjat has said. So this third statement, I found something in the hadith of the Ahlul Bayt, and the third statement was Hataka Sidre wa Ghalabta Sir, revealing of the divine wheel with the mastery over the divine secret. Rending of the wheel, mastery over secret. Now what does this statement mean? What I could find was those people who were present in the morning majlis, which I addressed in the same BABUL HAWAEJ, I spoke about Arsh and Kursi, the throne and the chair. What does Arsh and Kursi mean? Those people, I'll just briefly recap what I said in the morning for those who weren't present there. Arsh and Kursi. Arsh, the divine throne, and Kursi, the divine chair. Now, if you go to the people of the other sects, you will find that they think that there is actual throne on the sky and there's actual chair above us. This happens when you leave the Ahlul Bayt. And they, not only this, but if you look what kinds of things they've spoken and written about Arsh and Kursi, you'll say, if this is Islam, then Khuda Hafiz. And Allah sits on this throne, and there are 4 angels who take this throne. So this would mean that those 4 angels are even mightier than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you look at the traditions of the Ahlul Bayt, just a brief recap of what I spoke in the morning. The traditions of the Ahlul Bayt tell us that Arsh and Kursi, what is meant by Arsh and Kursi? They say that the entire creation is the Arsh, while Kursi is the container. Kursi is the container. And then there's another narration which says that Kursi is the creation while the Arsh is container. So this would imply that there was some problem in the transmission of the hadith. But the essence of the meaning was that the entire creation is within Arsh, and while Kursi is the container, or Kursi is the entire creation and Arsh is the container. For example, Now, for example, I gave this example in the morning as well. Now, for example, if you take this glass of water, let's say this glass is filled with water, then the entire water is arsh, while this glass is kursi, the container which contains the entire creation. Now, what the Ahlul Bayt meant with this arsh and with this kursi, what they tried to imply? What they tried to imply was that there is an extent up to which the creation exists. Beyond that, the creation ceases to exist. There is no time, there is no space if you move beyond arsh and beyond kursi. There is neither time and then there is neither space. Nothing exists. Nothing exists beyond arsh and beyond kursi. So if a person was to move beyond arsh and move beyond kursi, this would imply that he moves beyond the realm of creation. Now coming to that particular tradition, which says that the sun which we have, the sun is 1 out of 1 of the 70th part of the arsh. The sun has the nur, has the light which corresponds to 1/70th of what the arsh has. The arsh has 1/70 of the light which the kursi has. The kursi has 1/70 of the light which hijab has, the divine curtain, and hijab has 1/70 of the light which the sidr has, the divine wheel. Removing the wheel with the mastery of the secret, and the secret is in front of you. Now, after narrating this, Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam said, he said that this entire, the sun which we have is 1/70 of what arsh is. Arsh is 1 by the divine throne. Arsh is 1/70 of what kursi is. Kursi is 1/70 of what hijab is. Hijab is 1/70 of what sidr is. And then Imam says, try looking directly onto the sun when the sun is at its peak. You cannot have mastery over sun, over the light of sun. If you cannot bear the light of the sun, then how can you bear the light of the arsh? If you cannot bear the light of the arsh, which is 70 times more, then how can you bear the light of the kursi, which is again 70 times more? If you cannot bear the light of the kursi, which is 70 times more than the arsh, then how can you bear the light of the hijab, which is again 70 times more? If you cannot bear the light of the hijab, which is 70 times more than the kursi, then how can you bear the light of the sidr, which is 70 times more than the hijab? If you cannot bear the light of the sidr, then how can you have mastery over the secret which comes out of that sidr? If you calculate, this is basic calculation. If you start calculating 1/17 to 1/17 to 1/17 to 1/70 5 times, this would mean 1/168 crores. So the sun compared to that sidr is 1/168 crores. Now who can have that capacity to bear the secret which comes out of the sidr? Who can have that capacity to bear the secret which comes out of the sidr, which comes out of the sidr, which comes out of the sidr other than Rasulullah? Who can see what comes out of the sidr, which mystery and which sidr, which sir and which mystery and which secret comes out of the sidr other than Rasulullah. And what comes out of the sidr is the Quran says, وَهُوَ بِالْأُفُقِ الْأَعْلَى ثُمَّ دَنَا فَتَدَلَّى فَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَىٰ فَأَوْحَىٰ إِلَىٰ عَبْدِهِ مَا أَوْحَىٰ مَا كَذَبَ الْفُؤَادُ مَا رَأَىٰ أَفَتُمَارُونَهُ عَلَىٰ مَا يَرَىٰ لَقَدْ نَزَلَ فِي الْأُخْرَىٰ عِندَ سِدْرَةِ الْمُنتَهَىٰ عِندَهَا جَنَّةُ الْمَأْوَىٰ لَقَدْ رَأَىٰ مِنْ آيَاتِ رَبِّهِ الْكُبْرَىٰ. The thing which came out of that divine sidr was the greatest sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, was ayatullah al-kubra, was ayatullah al-kubra, was ayatullah al-kubra. And Ali said, nahnu ayatullah. This is such a miraculous tradition. This completely confuses the intellect of the humanity. How can one try to understand even a single sentence? This was the Ma'asum who made this understood one of the sentences out of 5. And inshallah it will be our last and final Imam who will make us understand each and every sentence of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And may we receive that chance to be benefited from the Noor and that divine light of Imam Zaman. Ajjalallahu ta'ala faradahu sharif. This was Kumail ibn Ziyad al-Nakhai. This is Kumail to whom Amir al-Mu'mineen is saying these things. This was the same Kumail. Once Amir al-Mu'mineen was sitting along with few of his companions and he said, there is a dua, there is a narration called as Dua Khizr alayhi salam. None of the companions had this chance to ask Amir al-Mu'mineen, what is that dua? When everyone went away, Kumail, this happened in Basra. Kumail came near Amir al-Mu'mineen and said, he knocked at the door. When everyone left over, when everyone went away, then Kumail also went away and then he returned, knocked at the door of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen opened up his door. Kumail was there. Kumail, what are you doing here at this point of at this point of night? Kumail looked at him and said, oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, I want that dua, Khizr alayhi salam. That dua. Amir al-Mu'mineen said, okay Kumail, come and sit here. And then he said something very interesting. He said, oh Kumail, I give this dua to you because you narrate our faza'il. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This was the reward given to Kumail for narrating the faza'il of the Ahlul-Bayt. You ask us, why do you narrate the faza'il? Why do you recite the faza'il of the Ahlul-Bayt? Ask Ali the importance of narrating the faza'il and narrating the merits of the Ahlul-Bayt. You narrate our faza'il, you discuss our ahadith. Hence, Kumail, I give this dua to you, and from now on this dua won't be called as Dua Khizr alayhi salam. It would be remembered as Dua Kumail. Salawat Muhammad and ala Muhammad. This would be remembered as Dua of Kumail. Dua was of Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam, narrated by Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, but the dua is remembered as Dua Kumail, not as Dua Amir al-Mu'mineen. Allahu Akbar. This is their generosity. Once they give, they give. The dua was given to Kumail, and Allama Majlisi Allah Maqama says something very interesting about this dua, because our religion is the religion of duas, supplications and munajat. See, no person can reach the level of any level of spirituality without having a private conversation with his Lord, with his Allah, with his Imam. No one can reach any stage of spirituality. Sayyid ibn Ta'us, the great Imam in his book Kashf al-Muhajjab says to his son, "Oh my son, do munajat with your Imam as you do munajat with Allah. When there is no one to see, when you are all alone, but remember that your Imam is with you." And then Sayyid ibn Ta'us cites a narration. He says, when someone came to a 10th Imam, Imam Ali al-Taqi alayhi salatu was salam, and says, "Oh Imam, you are mostly under house arrest." Our 10th Imam was mostly under house arrest. "Oh my Imam, we hardly find a time to come to you and discuss with you our problems." And Imam replied something which only Imam could reply. Imam said, "If you are faced with any of your problems, then just move your lips and your call would be answered. If you want to speak to us, then just move your lips and the call would be answered." So this dua to made Allama Majlisi Allah Maqama, the astute alim of our sect, Allama Majlisi, says regarding this dua, that this dua, out of all the du'as which we have Sahifa Sajjadiya, Sahifa Alabiya, Sahifa Razamiya, Ikhbar, Amal, Mafadihul Jannah, filled with n number of supplications and munajat, n number of whispered prayers. We have munajat of Amir al-Mu'mineen, we have dua like dua Abu Hamda al-Thumani, we have, for example, dua like Joshua Kabir, we have duas like, we have the treasury of duas and supplications like no one in the entire Muslim Ummah has. When you look at the supplications which we have, none in the entire Muslim Ummah has. And this statement has even been mentioned by people of different sects. For example, Muhammad Ali, Ujir Muhammad Ali, he is a famous Ahlul Hadith alim. He says that you accuse Shias of blasphemy, you call them kafir, you accuse them of blasphemy. Go and read Nahjul Balagha, go and read Sahifa Sajjadiya, go and read Du'a Kumail. You will find that the kind of tawheed which exists in the religion of Ahlul Bayt does not exist in any other religion, in any other sect within the Islamic thought. Agai Qurani, Allama Ali Qurani, one of the greatest alim of our present era, one of the greatest debaters of our present era, once said in an interview, and there was a great controversy regarding it, but we stand by what Allama Ali Qurani said. Allama Ali Qurani said that you say that saying Ya Ali Madad is shirk, that saying Ya Ali is shirk. We stand by with what Allama Ali Qurani said on that famous interview, that controversial interview. Allama Ali Qurani said that saying Ya Allah without saying Ya Ali is shirk. What is left is kufr and shirk. As I said before, also in the Majlis I had recited in the morning, that there are two different kinds of idol worshipping. One, you make idols with your hand and prostrate before that idol, worship that idol. The second is you make idol with your mind and you prostrate and do sujood before that idol. You do not say La ilaha illallah, you make idols with your bare hands and you bow down before that idol, and you say La ilaha illallah without alimun waliyullah, you make idols with your mind and bow down to that idol. Tawheed is in Hadith al-Qisar, Tawheed is in Dua al-Kumail. Josh al-Kabir, Tawheed is in Nahj al-Balagha, Sahih al-Sajjadiyya. You leave them, you have nothing out of Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dua al-Kumail is what it is, the essence of Tawheed. Allah Majlis says that although we have n number of supplications and prayers, but Dua al-Kumail, within all those supplication and prayers, is like human in the entire creation. It is called as Insanu Da'wat, the human of the prayers. Human being is the most excellent creation. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, the most excellent creation in the entire realm of creation. Similarly, Dua al-Kumail is the most excellent prayer amongst all the prayers. And this prayer, this supplication was granted to Hazrat Kumail. Ya Sari al-Rida, اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنان ارحم من راسه البكاء وصلاح الدعاء. Oh, the one who is readily pleased, Allah, Ya Sari al-Raza, oh, the one who is readily pleased. Who could say this apart from Amir al-Mu'mineen? Oh, the one who is readily, Ya Sari al-Raza, yaghfir liman la yamliku illa ad-du'a, forgive the one who has nothing but dua, وَسِلَاهُ الْبُكَى, whose weapon is cry and tears. Ya man ismuhu dawa, or the one whose name is the remedy, وَذِكْرُهُ شِفَاء. In times when we have a pandemic, this statement of the Dua al-Kumail, either you have faith on this statement or not. Ya man ismuhu dawa, the one whose name is cure and remedy. And Imam said, Nahnu wallahi asma'il husna, by Allah, we are the most beautiful of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the reason why we find the narrations that our zikr is cure, our zikr. The one, even this is the narration, that the one who is not cured by our of the secrets of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen made him a governor of a place called as Hayd. And then Kumail led a life in the love of Ali. And he had a life, Sheikh Abbas Ummi al-Amal says, Kumail lived a life of 90 years. Kumail lived for a period of 90 years. And when Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi al-Mal'un became the governor of Iraq, and he started killing the lovers and the followers of the Ahlul-Bayt. At that moment, Hajjaj al-Mal'un, Hajjaj, he would kill the lovers of Amir al-Mu'mineen just for his fun and entertainment. He would come out on the day of Eid al-Qurban and say, which day is today? They said that today is Eid al-Qurban. What do the Muslims do? The Muslims make a sacrifice before the Lord. He said, okay, I will also make a sacrifice. There was a small river passing by there. He said, I will fill this water with blood of the lovers of Ahlul Bayt on this day. It is said, some have mentioned that this accursed man, this cruel tyrant, killed around 130,000 lovers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He would say that I cannot have my food until I see a blood of a lover of Abu Turab. This Ali, this remembrance of Amir al-Mu'mineen, this discussion, these discussions have gone through a lot. We've given a lot of blood for this Ali. And he used to kill the lovers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He alone killed Hazrat Amr. And he murdered Sa'id ibn Jubair, the famous companion of the fourth Imam. And he murdered this great companion of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Kumail. When he couldn't find Kumail, he said all the pensions and all the money from Baitul Mal to the tribe of Kumail would be stopped until and unless I get that lover of Abu Turab. When Kumail heard this, he came himself, 90 years old. Kumail came to the court of Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Mal'un and said, you wanted a lover of Abu Turab? You have a lover of Abu Turab. Allow the pensions of my family and my tribe. Do not. I am a lover of Abu Turab. Do whatever you wish for me, whatever you want for me. Hajjaj looked at him and said, O Kumail, how do you want to get killed? Kumail replied that same very reply. Hazrat Khambar was replying the same thing. My master has told me that I would be slaughtered. Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Mal'un ordered, take Kumail and slaughter this 90-year-old lover of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And Kumail was mercilessly slaughtered. Then were great companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen slaughtered mercilessly and brutally. But none was slaughtered like Abidullah. None was slaughtered like Abidullah. None was slaughtered more brutally than Abidullah. The accursed sat on a chest, which was the chest of knowledge, which was the chest of secrets and mysteries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Zara the Nahiya says, وَجَالِسٌ شِمْرُ عَلَىٰ رَاسِكَ. He sat on a place, which was the treasury and chest of knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't know how to put this forward. Imam Raza, when speaking to the son of Shabib, said, oh son of Shabib, whenever you wish to cry, cry on my grandfather, Abu Abdullah. Why? إِنَّهُ كَمَا يُذْبِحُ لِلشَّاةِ. Because he was slaughtered like a sheep. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That when Abu Abdullah Hussein said, Hal min Nasirin yansurana, is there anyone to help me and assist me? A person came to Abu Abdullah and said, Assalamu alayka. Assalamu alaykum. Abu Abdullah looked at him and said, who are you? He said, I am a Christian merchant. I was passing by this desert and then I heard a voice saying, Hal min Nasirin yansurana, is there anyone who could assist me? Hal min Mughizin yughizuna, is there any helper who could help me out? And he said that voice had this great, it felt like this person is in great calamity. I came to say, who are you? Your entire body is filled with wounds. Allah. Who are you, Imam? Looked at him and said, who are you that you are paying your salutations upon me? Well, there is no one here who pays salutations to me. He said, I am a Christian merchant. I was passing by this desert. Imam looked at him and said, okay, were you present in the incident of Mubahila? That person said, yes, I was present in Mubahila. He said, do you remember that child which was in the hands of Rasulullah? He said, yes, I remember that child who was in the hands of Rasulullah. Imam said, I am Hussein, the grandson of Rasulullah. He looked at Abu Abdullah and said, oh, the grandson of the Holy Prophet, you are the grandson of Rasulullah. These people are from the ummah of your grandfather. Go be unto them, they are going to kill the grandson of their own Prophet. but Allah. Your grandfather was Rasulullah. Your father was Amir al-Mu'mineen. You are vicegerent of Allah. Allow me to go in this battlefield and allow me to give my life for your cause. Abu Abdullah looked at him and said, no, I cannot allow you. He said, please allow me to go to the battlefield. I've read the kalama. Imam said, no, I cannot allow you. He said, please allow me to go to the battlefield. I've read the kalama. Allow me to give my life, sacrifice my life for your cause. Imam looked at him and said, no, I cannot. He said, but why? Imam said, because I know that you have a young daughter waiting for you. I cannot allow that young daughter to be orphaned. Imam went farewell to that person and went to the battlefield. I would say to Abu Abdullah, you cannot allow that businessman to sacrifice his life for your cause because of his daughter who was waiting for her father. Look in your camp, Sakina is waiting for you. Sakina is waiting for you. But Abu Abdullah went to the battlefield, and then there was a time when Shibr Malone sat on that chest. He had a dagger in his hand. As Mir Ali sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Jangal mein aaye, Fatima Zahra ki ye sada, ummat ne mujhko loot liya, wa Muhammad hai kaun hum jo hum mere ibadat kare ada, hai har ye zan aur to alam ka muqtada, hai 1900 hai zakhm, tane chak chak mar, Zainab nikal, Hussain taraftar khak mar, when Bibi Zainab arrived in the battlefield, she looked at him and said, "Hey Shamr, tujhko Khalid Akbar ka wasta, hey Shamr, tujhko Ruh Paygambar ka wasta, hey Shamr, tujhko Haydar Safar ka wasta, hey Shamr, tujhko Nandhe se Azadari ka wasta, aye subhanaka tu rabbe shahid mashraqain ko main bheek mangti hu, mujhe mera
Allah